Doi Suthep. Doi Suthep and Doi Pui. Now, it's a lovely ride here. Did you see the walker coming up? So coming up here, it's about 9 a.m. and we've passed a lot of walkers walking up, doing a pilgrimage. Well, maybe it's actually for fitness more than a pilgrimage, walking up this mountain. So you can feel the air's a lot fresher up here, a lot cleaner. It's a really lovely ride up here. Just stopped here for the viewpoint to have a quick look. And have a good look over Chiang Mai City. This is Chiang Mai City. You can see the airport down here. It's a bit hazy today, but it's not too bad actually. Like sometimes just before the rainy season, the air pollution here in Chiang Mai gets pretty terrible, and it's mostly because it's got this granite mountain range here, which is actually the start of the Himalayan range, the very, very start of the Himalayan range, and it traps all the filthy air in here. So this is actually not too bad at the moment because we are just at the tail end of the rainy season, so where the air is much clearer. Just reminded a little bit about one of my trips up here. I went to Doi Suthep, and it was the first time I ever fell off a motorcycle. So I just want to remind everyone about motorcycle safety because my background is I'm a motorcycle trainer, and I've fallen off. I've fallen off the motorcycle coming up here. Now what happened? I was going around a corner and I saw a couple of sticks on the road. And I thought that's very odd. And then all of a sudden my front wheel just slipped from under me. And I realised the sticks were put there as a warning because there was some oil on the road. Now my front wheel slipped and I went onto my back and slammed my head against the road. So the moral of the story is the helmet is so very, very important. In fact, you'll see what I wear when I'm riding around. Because that day I fell off for the first time. I had long pants on and I had shoes on, but I had a short sleeve shirt on. And so when I hit the deck, I had some bruises and bumps. The only place where I lost some skin and bark was on my arms, and the only area of my body that wasn't protected. So if you're on a bike, wear a helmet, number one priority. Second, wear some shoes because you don't want to lose your toes, because that's the first thing that's going to go when your bike, you start to lose control of your bike, your feet will go out. So don't wear flip-flops, so wear fully closed shoes. And when possible, long sleeve as well, because you better.
No long sleeve, wear jackets.
It's better off losing some threads on your jacket than some skin off your arm. Now this ride up here, you'll see a lot of examples of people not wearing the right thing, and in fact in Thailand in general, when you go to the airport or some busy tourist centres, you're always going to find tourists with bandages all over their arms, particularly places like Phuket, Koh Samui, Khao San Road. It's the backpackers or people who've decided, I'm going to rent a bike, I'm in my flip-flops, in my singlet, and they fall off and lose all the skin off their arms. So when I look around, that's a warning to me why everyone really should wear a helmet, strapped up properly, when possible, chin as well, because this poor girl, if she lands on her face, she's going to lose her chin. Unfortunately, there's not many kids' helmets around, so this is the best we've got at the moment. So
yeah, the other one, it had a broken strap.
Yeah, so we changed it to get a better strap. And she's got the helmet here with a dog doing a fart. So yeah, please, for your own safety and own good, wear some protective gear when you're on a motorcycle, and just take it slow. So 2 times I've lost control of a motorcycle. One was when I actually came off just around the corner here, and the other was when I was back in Australia. And again, the front wheel went out from under me, but I dropped the bike, but I didn't drop my body, so I could put my foot down and rescue myself because it was at such a low speed. So that's the other tip. When you're negotiating tight corners and things like this, just drop your speed. Not in any rush, drop your speed. You don't want to hit that bitumen because if your body hits the bitumen, we come off second best. In May each year, there's a pilgrimage from the base of Doi Suthep all the way up to Doi Suthep Temple. It's called
วิสา
Visa
ขบูชา
Visakha Bucha Day. I think I said that right. But yeah, so once a year there's a pilgrimage. They start at the night time and then they arrive at Doi Suthep for the sunrise. It's a 3.5 from the base of the mountain, which is Chiang Mai Zoo, to the temple. It's about 3.5 kilometers. And according to Google Maps, it's just over an hour walk. However, it is a walk up like this, so I think it would take me a lot longer than an hour. But it's very interesting. No matter what time of the day you come up Doi Suthep or down Doi Suthep Mountain, you'll see joggers and people doing some, and cyclists as well. So it's a really good hill for the fitness freaks and to escape the city there. So location-wise, we're halfway up Doi Suthep. So Doi Suthep and Doi Pui are like connected mountain peaks, and interestingly enough, they're only 10 meters difference, but this is the Doi Suthep and Doi Pui mountain range, and you can drive up or ride up or even cycle up if you like, and you can see Doi Suthep, get to the peak of Doi Suthep and Doi Pui. Now if you keep going beyond that mountain range, you'll get to Burma. We're not doing that today.
What's that noise?
Animals, insects.
Really?
Oh shit.
เอาแบบโคนค่ะเท่าไหร่คะ
คน25
เอาอันเดียวนะคะ
ใส่ถุงนะ
ใส่ทุกอย่างเลยค่ะ
เอาช็อกโกแลตอยู่ตรงนี้
ค่ะ ได้เอาอันนี้ขอบคุณค่ะแป๊บนึงนะ
Wow.
So after the motorcycle ride up Doi Suthep, we've arrived at Doi Suthep and it's time for a little snack, breakfast. I've ordered some noodle soup.
We've got noodles.
Noodle soup and noodles.
You can't see them.
So I've got some noodle soup with egg noodles and some roasted pork. Smells good. Simple and delicious. Got some sprouts. That nice added freshness and crispiness. Some roast pork. Yeah, nice pork. A little bit of coriander. And the soup, I've just tried the soup. Nice. Excellent breakfast after a nice ride up the mountain. Nice ride up Doi Suthep. Nice to stop for a little bit of breakfast. Some 40 baht noodles before we go exploring Doi Suthep, the temple. Great place for a snack. It's certainly a great place for people watching. I haven't seen any foreigners here, so it seems to be a lot of local people, particularly from upcountry, who are wearing some like traditional dress. So it's really like a family outing for a lot of people at the moment. Tomorrow is actually a public holiday here in Thailand. It's Chalalagorn.
Also my
One of the
dad's
days.
birthday.
It does happen to be my birthday.
His birthday.
So I'm pretending it's a public holiday for my birthday. But it's amazing, northern, hill tribe outfits here. Really spectacular. Like the hand-stitched, hand-woven skirts. Really spectacular. I'll sit here and finish off my noodles. I have been noticing a lot of t-shirts with the Myanmar flag and the Burmese script on there, so I'm assuming there's a lot of Burmese here. We are very close to the Myanmar border, and given the current situation in Myanmar, there's probably quite a few here. There's always has been a lot of Burmese here in Chiang Mai. There seems to be a lot of t-shirts, a lot of showing their Burmese colours. A little bit too early for cowside for me. It's more of a big lunch, or a dinner for me. A bit too rich for breakfast. It does smell delicious, so I was tempted. So I'm about to climb up the stairwell, this magnificent stairwell here, to Wat Doi Suthep. Wat Doi Suthep is a magnificent Theravada Buddhist temple. Wat Doi Suthep was founded in 1383 when the first stupa was built, and over time the temple has expanded and has been made to look more extravagant with many more holy shrines added. The road to Doi Suthep Temple was built in 1935. To reach the temple, we have to walk up 300 steps, and while we're walking up we can marvel at the magnificently, intricately carved mythical Naga serpent staircase. This, in fact, is the longest Naga balustrade in all of Thailand. According to legend, a monk named Sumantera from the Sukhothai Kingdom had a vision to go to Phang Cha and look for a relic. So Sumantera indeed did venture to Phang Cha and found a bone that many claimed to be Buddha's shoulder bone. What was remarkable was that this relic displayed magical powers. It glowed, it was able to vanish, it could move and replicate itself. Sumantera took the relic and presented it to the Sukhothai ruler, King Dhamaraja, in the late 1360s. However, after the relic was presented to the king, it displayed no abnormal characteristics, and the king, doubtful of the relic's authenticity, told Sumantera to keep it. Years later, the king of Lanna heard of this relic and asked King Dhamaraja for Sumantera to bring it to him. And in 1368, Sumantera took the relic to the Lanna king, who was in the location which is known today as Lamphun in northern Thailand. Once there, the relic broke into two pieces, and the smaller piece was enshrined in Wat Doi, which we explored in a previous video when we were doing the exploration of Suthep Road. And the other piece was placed by the king on the back of a white elephant, which was released into the jungle. This white elephant, of its own accord, climbed Doi Suthep, and when the elephant reached the peak, it stopped, trumpeted 3 times, and dropped dead. This was interpreted as an omen, and so the Lanna king immediately ordered the construction of a temple at the site. The name of this temple, Wat Doi Suthep, actually explains what the temple has. Phra means an honorific Buddha image, and Tat means relic. So combining the two tell us that there's a relic of Buddhas in the sanctuary of the Wat. And in this case, it's half the Buddha's shoulder bone. The location of the shoulder bone relic is found in the rounded portion of the chedi, right above the octagonal redented section and below the ring section. Wat Doi Suthep is a gorgeously planned wat with a story to tell about Buddhism. The gold-plated chetty is 24 metres tall and the spire is very typical of northern Thai chetties, which has a heightened redented octagonal base, ring spire, smooth spire, and a tiered chhatra, which looks like an umbrella, which is an umbrella at the top. The structure is greatly influenced by Sukhothai art. However, the chhatra isn't a Thai influence, but rather an aspect that came from 2 centuries of Burmese occupation. The tiered and angular shape of the chetty is found all around Thailand, and it represents the levels of heaven that one must ascend in order to achieve nirvana, as well as a hierarchy associated with the Thai monarchy. The angular shape and sloping appearance are more related to the feeling that the Thai architects wished to relate. In Theravada Buddhism, the main focus is to rid oneself of unwholesomeness, and to do that there is a focus on peace, lightness and floating. If the chetty was just a plain shape of an octagon or a triangle, it would appear dense and static. The redented look, however, with its near parabolic slope and golden cover of the chetty creates a feeling of weightlessness of the structure. If you look closely at the walls of the temple, you'll notice that the walls and the columns all slant inward to the center of the building. This is to help with the structural integrity of the building, but it's also to make the room feel like it's ascending. The interior is wonderfully decorated with murals all over the walls. These murals are typically the story of Buddha's life and travels, but also include Hindu aspects, as well as tales of the previous lives of the Buddha. So to conclude, today's adventure was most enjoyable and very rewarding. A wonderful day out. It's great to get out of the city, get up high, breathe the fresh air, get amongst nature. Visiting Wat Doi Suthep is an uplifting experience, both because of the visual beauty of the architecture, the art and murals and the artifacts, but it's also magnificent because of this spiritual nature of the place. It's a peaceful place, and visiting here just feels good for the soul. This video is coming to a close. However, our day has not yet finished. In the next video, I'm going to share what we are going to do this afternoon, this evening, and tonight. And it includes having an awesome barbecue dinner tonight. And we also find a new market. And you guessed it, we get some ice cream. Thanks for watching. Luke Walks.